Wanderlust King.
Welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. Last time, we came into the second investigation. There was another dead body. There was a strange hooded human-shaped figure with a mask. And we went and tried to find out some information at the library and grocery store about Reza's habits and what he has done. He bought a lot of lemons, we learned that, and we learned he was also looking at some kind of map. As to what this all means, I have no fucking clue. We got home, and we had a message from Adine saying that she wanted me to come over. And who might have turned down a lovely young lass like herself? Let's go meet with Adine. This should be the right address. I'm coming! Oh, it's you. I was expecting someone else. You're a little early. I didn't know how long it would take for me to get here. Better early than late, right? Aww. And who might that be? This is Emily. She's one of the kids I work with. Hello, Emily. Say hi, Emily. Hello. I just have to bring your back to the orphanage real quick. Feel free to make yourself at home in the meantime, okay? Sure. You met Emily. So this is where you live, Adine. Small but cozy. I'm back! That was quick. Being able to fly does have its perks, you know. Wait, you flew her back? Well, I am a delivery flyer. She doesn't get scared or anything? Not at all. She's such a brave little girl. So what exactly is it that you do at the orphanage? I'm a volunteer. I help them out with whatever they need and sometimes take care of the kids. They only have so many social workers. The ratio is about one social worker for every 10 children, so it's good for the kids to spend some time one-on-one with someone they know. I guess you could almost call it babysitting, but for the kids, we basically become foster parents. The older they get, the less likely they are to be adopted. She might be too old to be considered soon. I'd adopt her if I could. I'm afraid it's not that easy, and the actual numbers of adoptions aren't very promising either. I'm worried about what will happen to her if she doesn't find a family. We will still take care of her, of course, but it's not quite the same as having parents. I'd adopt her myself, but I don't think I could care for her properly, not as a single parent with my packed work schedule. I still volunteer as often as I can, because if I don't, who will? Someone needs to be there for those kids. It's very nice of you. Thanks, but for me, it's not about being nice. I almost feel obligated to help, you know? Anyway, let's talk about something less depressing. Like what? Let me think. Oh, I just remembered that someone died here recently! That's not something you just bring up out of fucking nowhere like that! Goddamn, Adine! Here in your apartment? No, not here, silly. It was close, though. Barely a block from here. Right, the murder of the maintenance guy. I remember that. Wait, it was a murder? I didn't know that. I thought it was an accident or something. That's terrible. Sorry for mentioning it. Finding the first victim already was already bad enough for me. Now I have to hear there was another murder in town. I wish I could get some good news for once. Don't just focus on the bad things. It's no use lamenting something you can't change. Sorry, Furea. I guess I should be more positive. It's not always easy, you know. Maybe you'll get some good news soon. I hope so. That reminds me, I've got something I wanted to try on you. Try on me? The hell? It's nothing too dramatic. I read this magazine the other day and found a few interesting articles. Using her partial hand, she held up a magazine to show me its cover. A rather bold-looking female was presented at the front, adorned with trinkets like rings and jewels. Various headlines gave me an idea of the content within. It reminded me a lot of typical gossip magazines back home. Lifestyle, the magazine for modern people? This issue even came with a set of fortune cards. I'm sure they're qualified to determine my fate. Come on, it'll be fun. If you say so. What should we look at first? You decide. Alright, let's see. Here it is. This article talks about dreams and what they mean. Have you had any strange or reoccurring dreams lately? My dreams are often about people I know. Nah, I've been dreaming of fire. Fire? That's interesting. Apparently it's a rather common symbol that can mean a variety of things. Another thing to consider is the significance of the symbol to the dreamer. So what does fire mean to you? Fire can be destructive, but can also be wild and passionate. It can represent an issue or a problem you can no longer ignore, similar to an actual fire breaking out. It also mentions prophetic dreams, but let's hope that yours don't fall into that category. I doubt they do. Whew. What about your dreams? It kind of feels like they're different every night. Most of them are nonsense, but sometimes I dream of people I used to know. What do you make of all this? I don't know. Even the article concludes scientists haven't figured out exactly why we dream. It's a big mystery. Alright, let's move on. Oh, I thought you meant moving on from the magazine. Don't be such a sourpuss. There's some interesting stuff in here. That dream stuff wasn't so bad. See? I told you this was going to be fun. What's next? A personality test. Didn't you always want to know what kind of relationship would suit you? I already know what I want in a relationship. In that case, we'll find out if what you think about yourself is true. Okay, first question. In a relationship, what role do you take? I like to switch it up every once in a while. Variety is the spice of life, right? Moving on to the next question. Wait, aren't you going to answer the questions too? I'll take the test after you. I don't want to keep track of both of our scores at once. Alright. Question number 2. What is your favorite dessert? Lemon ice cream with sprinkles. That's unusual, but sounds really interesting. I'd love to try some. Here's the next question. What is your dream job? Stay-at-home parent. I'm with you on that one, but does it really qualify as a job? Are you questioning the almighty magazine? Forget I said anything! Fucking love Adine. How many more questions are there? That's all of them. Now to look up the results. Oh, it says here the results are outlined in the weight loss booklet that came with the magazine. But I already threw that away. What a shame. Yeah, I really wanted to know. But now we get to the best part. The fortune cards! That's what I was looking forward to. Me too. How is that supposed to work anyway? I mean, they're just cards. How do they predict the future? Apparently there's some different schools of thought regarding the use of fortune-telling cards. The cards themselves don't know anything. They're just a tool. So the information actually comes from somewhere else. But where, though? Well, one interpretation is our subconscious. It's our subconscious who gives us the answers that we seek. Similar to how dreams can be interpreted. The interpretation of the cards is very dependent on the person itself and the symbols they recognize in the card's images. We recognize images that are relevant to our lives, and it gives us an idea about ourselves and our current problems. However, that's just the most grounded interpretation out there. People usually associate something with more paranormal with fortune cards. One of those explanations is that these cards are a way to communicate with a higher being, a paranormal entity that knows more than we do and can give us subtle nudges using the cards. And who would that be? The explanations range from ghosts to angelic beings, or even involved humans. Really? Yeah, people would say that you could communicate with humans this way. And there was also something called the higher self. The higher self? How come you know so much about this? Because I read the article about it! Oh. Okay, so what should I draw for you? Why don't I get to be the one who's reading the fortune? Because I paid for this magazine, so the cards are mine! Okay. What are my options? I could read your past, present, or future. What's it gonna be? Future. Prediction of future is what most people associate with these readings. However, the purpose is to prepare the person in question for a possible future rather than just predicting it. Oh my. What is it? The cards we've drawn is associated with drastic measures, particularly those with a final conclusion. This could be interpreted in many ways, but it can refer to death, the ultimate conclusion. It can also mean many other things, like a violent outcome of a brewing conflict or a positive resolution in a long-running conflict. What do you think? I think I know what this refers to. Really? How can you already know about the future? Let's just say I have a hunch. It mentions resolutions to conflicts that have been brewing, and there's definitely stuff brewing. I guess that's everything the magazine has to offer. What a shame. I could try to find the diet booklet if you're perhaps to find out the personality test results. Please don't. Alright. So do you have anything interesting that's going on at the moment? I can't imagine what an ambassador life is like. It's been busy. I thought this whole thing would go by quickly without any mishaps, but now it seems like there's always something happening. Oh, really? Yeah. I figured I'd come here, do the exchange, and leave again, but apparently it's not that easy. It never is. You speak like you've had experience as an ambassador. Well, no, but doing deliveries is similar. People order something, I fly to them, we exchange the product for a payment, I go back. It's basically the same thing. Yeah, sure. But things always go wrong. For example, imagine you have 2 deliveries to make and the first one goes smoothly, okay? I'm imagining it very hard right now. Alright, so you get to the destination second delivery and they actually check what you're handing them, and it turns out to be mixed up the orders, but you already delivered the first one. That's certainly not a pleasant situation to be in. Now you have to go back to the first family you delivered to, who by now have probably noticed that they got the wrong delivery, and exchange what you gave them for what they actually ordered. Right? But it turns out they didn't mind the mix-up. As a matter of fact, they've already started eating what they got instead. It's not so bad, they aren't angry, but now you can't exchange the orders anymore, so you have to fly back to the restaurant and get a second order remade. Happens all the time. As a result, people waiting for a second order do get angry because the order has to be remade and delivered all over again. And the plot thickens. And they complain and, of course, get their meal comped. The restaurant can no longer sell that first order you still have, so the orders for both families are deducted from your paycheck, and you end up eating nothing but ramen all week again just so you can make the rent this month. That is unfortunate. And that is why you always double check your orders, because even a small mistake can have consequences reaching further than you think. Sometimes we just have to learn the hard way. I guess so. Anyway, what else have you been up to recently? You remember the stunt flying competition I told you about? Of course, I assume your participation is a given by now? Actually, I'm not so sure about that. I mailed the application earlier today, so hopefully it'll arrive before the deadline. Or maybe I should just fly it over myself, while showing off a few moves, that is. You should fly over anyway to make sure you get in. It'd be a shame if you couldn't enter because of a technicality. Yeah, I really should drop by. By the way, could you do me a favor? That depends on the favor, I suppose. Kind of a long story, but there's something I need. You know some people at the police station, right? Yeah? I think they're in possession of a map related to an underground building they found. I've heard about that. Oh, that's great. Maybe you can get them to hand it over? It doesn't even have to be the real thing. A copy would be just fine. What do you even need it for? Let's just say I'm interested in doing a little investigation of the place myself. What's so special about it? It's supposed to be a remnant of an earlier civilization, or maybe even something created by humans. Who wouldn't be interested in that? What, an actual human in front of you is not enough? If I had you all to myself, it might be enough, but since your stay is only temporary, I'll need some other human-related things to keep me busy. How do I even ask for something like that? Just gonna drop the save. Never know when it's gonna crash. You could always say that humanity is interested in it. Honestly, they probably would be. Could you ask them for me, please? I can try. I won't promise anything, but I can certainly try. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I didn't even know you were into archaeology. I wouldn't care much if it turned out to be just some old building. The whole thing about it being made by humans is really what's interesting. Why's that? Well, myths wouldn't be very mythical anymore if that was the case. We'd have proof. And that so shortly after finding out that humans are, in fact, real? Yes! What a time to be alive! So you believe in all that stuff? Belief isn't the right word when you're standing in front of me, you know. That alone is a miracle. I get excited all over again just thinking about it. Speaking of which, all this excitement made me lose track of the time. Is it that late already? Oh, actually, I have places to be, especially if I want to make sure my contest application arrives on time. I guess I should be going then, huh? Unless you want to sit in my empty apartment. You could always pay me a visit during practice time if you like. You mean your stunt flying practice? Yeah. Anyway, I really have to go, so I'll catch you later, okay? Sure. Huh. Nothing going on today. I guess I can do whatever. I'm gonna spend the day reading. By the time I finished the book, the scepter of sovereignty from the preceding novel is first stolen, reclaimed by the novel's titular hero, only to be stolen again in another cliffhanger ending ploy, setting up the series' next entry. I wish I'd spent the time doing something more productive. Figured I might still be able to go out and do something else, but when I looked at the time, I regretfully realized that the day was already over and it was too late. Chapter 3, Superstition! The morning sun declared the arrival of a new day and woke me from my vivid dreams. Memories of my home, enclosed within the towering perimeter wall, raced through my head. The peaceful landscape outside the apartment window stood in defiance of these old thoughts. Rolling hills and blue sky were familiar to me now, and the purity of the sight gave me hope. Furea, please come with me. What's going on? You sound serious. We'll figure out what's so serious next time, boys and girls. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or a like, whichever you prefer to call it, my dear friends. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. See you then.